Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Hey guys, we have a breaking new update. I'm Bullhorn Betty and I've been covering the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers since March 2024, shortly after the incident happened. At Night Intelligence Agency has come in along with Dog the Bounty Hunter, who they partner with on several different cases. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from inside his locked home on February 26 around 12 midnight to 6 a.m., according to his mother. New images and videos are being released about this case now. Stay tuned. Breaking new video is being released. Check this out. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and his mother, Katie Proudfoot, sitting at the Texas Roadhouse Grill on February 25th, 2024 at 6 o'clock at night, appearing to be eating dinner and chatting amongst each other. What you notice is Katie picking up the phone and taking photos of Sebastian where it appears he doesn't know he's being photographed. The entire time that they're eating at this restaurant, it appears Katie is occupied by her phone and not really paying much attention to her son, except to snap these photos. And why were these photos not released to the public when he went missing on February 26th? Please look over the footage and let me know if you see anything out of the ordinary. Please send any information that you have related to this video to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. That's bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Sebastian Rogers has not been seen again by a third party since this video was captured. He was reported missing the next morning at 6:33 a.m. by his stepfather that was 3 hours away in Memphis, Tennessee. Allegedly, when Katie woke up at 6 a.m., Sebastian was not in his bed. Many people speculate and assume that the mom and stepdad had something to do with his disappearance. There was 5 CPS reports. One of those reports are still active. Their behavior has been odd since his disappearance. And we've learned recently that Katie and Chris have been trying to find a place to put Sebastian since October of 2022. Since he disappeared, they have hired the most vile people to work for them, to cause distractions, to cause reputational and personal harm to those searching for their son. We're also learning that another affiliate of the mom and stepfather have filed suit against the father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, the only person that has been searching for him from the family. He is brought in at Night Intelligence Agency as well as Dog the Bounty Hunter, and he has worked tirelessly to find answers to bring his son home and to bring his son home safely. The reward being offered by At Night Intelligence Agency as well as Dog the Bounty Hunter has been increased to $225,155 to anybody that has any information leading to the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers or the successful prosecution of those that are responsible for his disappearance. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Today marks Sebastian Wayne.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Well, good morning to my beautiful people here on YouTube. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We cover true crime here. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start out by saying good morning. I went up as high as I could. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to the bottom. We didn't get quite all the way to the top of everybody here. There is a reason for that, and it's because we set this up for last night at 8, but Justin was live. And quite frankly, I was exhausted. So I moved the show over to 10 a.m. this morning since it was already prepared. And that's kind of where we are. So we have a whole bunch of people from last night and this morning. But the first person I would like to say thank you to and welcome is Victoria Lynn, the newest member of the Coffee Club. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e., The Insane Asylum. The Insane Asylum. Where did I just leave off from? What happened here? I had a specific spot I was at, and it moved up. Oh, look at that. Pussy Willow Pendercat's up in the house. Robin, it's nice to see you. Mike, good morning. Peggy, Aletha, One Sock Candy, it's nice to see you. Mona, Karen, good morning. Dee's Mystery Obsessed, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Reality Wins is up in the house, followed by the Real Me Too. Dum, 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 dum. Good morning, Stephanie, Jackie, Gigi, Rivers up in the house. Yeah, we got a couple of updates. Some of the stuff was disclosed yesterday between Justin and Brittany J. So I don't know how breaking news it is now, but we're still moving because it was already set up yesterday. We're still moving forward. River, it's nice to see you. Robin, Luna Lavania, it's nice to see you. Lisa B. Always. Donna, our friend across the northern border, it's nice to see you. YouTuber, good morning. Niner Nana, it's nice to see you. We got our beautiful Veronica B. True Crime up in the house. Lisa Ann, it's nice to see you. SRK, it's nice to see you. Good morning, love. Good morning, love. Peggy, it's nice to see you. Chris is up in the house. Good morning, love. Brenda. Who else do we have here? Garrett, it's nice to see you. Too Many Shoes is up in the house. We all have that problem at times. Cheryl, good morning. Diana, I watched the show yesterday. She points out the keys were tossed to Hoodie Girl, allegedly. Ooh. Tracy, it's nice to see you this morning. Who else do we have? Did I say hi to you, Peggy? If I didn't, oh, we got a Jasper in the house. Sebastian was a planned disappearance. Red flag. There's something I didn't believe. Maybe that'll be a talking point. Let me star you, Jasper. We'll come back to you in just a second. Let me get through this. We'll have a discussion. We got a few articles. Of course, the language of letting go. We believe in self-care here, so we're going to be reading from the language of letting go. But we will talk about Jasper's comment here in just a little bit and touch base on that. Kim, it's nice to see you. Andrea did a beautiful job on a painting. It was Sebastian. Did we do Sebastian Strong? I got to go back and look at it. But I'm going to be showing that. I didn't get it all pulled up today, but we will be showing that later this afternoon. I am going to start, now that it's warming up outside for me, at least for a few days, I'm going to plug in another early morning live the rest of this week. So we'll be up, I think, around 6 or 7. I haven't picked out a time yet to cover some, to split these apart so we can cover some other topic of conversation items. And then do our 10 o'clock Sebastian Wayne, Drake Rogers. The lives are getting a little too long for me. I don't do well with long lives. So I like to break them up in bite-sized pieces because I noticed that if they're too long, it's hard for people to sit down and watch them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here, we're doing it live. It's a little different. But when you have to go back and you're part of the replay crew and you've got 5 videos, I like to put those so people can watch and not be bogged down for, 3 hours in one sitting with a live. So I try to break those up for you guys, not really for me. It's easier for me to set up one live and just roll through the rest of the day. But we're always on different topics, and I'd like those delineated. So it's nice to see you, me and you, Crime Addict. Billy B for you. It's nice to see you. But I can't wait to show you guys some of Andrea's work. She sent me some stuff. I love it. You guys will have to see it for yourself. Not today, or not right now. River, it's nice to see you. I think I've said hi to most of you. Mona, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Me and you. Little Red, good morning. Sun Gazing, Crime Addict, it's nice to see you this beautiful morning. Star, good morning. Who else do we have? Bree! I think that's how we're supposed to say it. Good morning, love. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're doing well. Nani's up in the house. Good morning, love. Direct Current. Good morning. Good morning. Bookworm's in the house. Good morning, Bookworm. Tracy, it's nice to see you. Sweet Sativa, it's nice to see you as well. Good morning. Melody's up in the house. Busy Mama. Good morning. Good morning. Pussy Willow Pindercat. We have 2 sets of parents who have gotten away with, yes, the wells and the farts. Oh, good morning, Mickey Shell. It's nice to see you. Gigi, oh, we have another Gigi. Oh, that's so nice. Well, hello, Gigi. Grace Upon Grace, it's nice to see you. The Dirty Scoop. What kind of dirty scoop you got? You can send it to bullhornbetty at gmail.com. Candace, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Look at that. Look who decided to pull their metal out of their ass. Oh, I mean metal ass. Good morning, metal ass. It's nice to see you. Oh, star reminding. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on your way in. Kendra, it's nice to see you. Samantha, Susie, oh, VA's up in the house. That means chaos is right behind. We know how this ship rolls. Oh, thank you, Grace Upon Grace. Grace Upon Grace just donated 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your 5 Bullhorn Betty members, or your Bullhorn Betty members, you're not going to get all 5. For the 5 people that received their Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Grace Upon Grace, thank you, and welcome to the family. This crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. I got to tell you, our Insane Asylum's starting to get a little packed. It's starting to get a little packed. I think we got some really crazy ones. Wendy, it's nice to see you. I Got Time. Colleen, Mary, Joanne, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Hot Wheels. Alicia up in the house. Good morning, love. I hope you're doing well. Natalie, it's nice to see you as well. Linda, good morning. We got Panda Bear's mom. It's lovely to see you. There's Kate. I knew she was lurking. I knew she was lurking. I knew it. I knew it. You're not too incognito anymore. Sophie, it's nice to see you. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you all. Christine, Tiffany. Oh, Honey Dip, it's nice to see you. Susie, Christy, good morning. Bliss, Blessing. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Karen's up in the house. Max 50, it's nice to see you, Jill. Tinks, good morning. I think we're getting down to the bottom. Dawn, it's nice to see you. Valerie, good morning. Tracy, be great, says Tony the Tiger. It's nice to see you. Be great. Good morning. Aw, Be Great donated 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships too. Look at you guys. You guys are being showered with a bunch of love here. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership from Be Great, don't forget to tell Be Great thank you and welcome to the family, this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Lady 7 Up is up in the house. Olive, it's nice to see you. Niner Nana, good morning. Oh, we had Karen P and then Karen S. It's nice to see you. Tinks, Tabitha. Oh, Tabitha's in here. It's nice to see you, love. Yay. Good morning. This is the interview where after she asked them their names, KP said, is an experience that I thought I would never. We got a lot of, this was because somebody brought this, and I can't remember what creator brought it up or on what platform they brought it up. I have to be honest with you. I don't know. But there was something that I heard in the interview. And so I went back to the interview. And, you know, this is one of the interviews that we don't really listen to very often. And it's because it's not really on YouTube. It's on Facebook, I think. I don't know if they ever dropped it on YouTube. I could be wrong. They might have dropped it on YouTube. I can personally only find it on Facebook, which may be the reason why people aren't paying so much attention to this particular interview. I think there are some concerning, just like I identified about 2 or 3 different concerning statements in this that I had not heard before. So we're going to go over, hopefully I remember which ones they were. I was listening to it last night, or excuse me, yesterday for last night. And I had stopped a couple places, but I didn't write those couple places down. But I'm almost confident I'm going to find them, because once you hear something, it's hard to miss it the next time. It's like once it's there, you know it's there. Christina, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have that I haven't said good morning to yet? Give me just a sec. Aw, Narita, it's nice to see you. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Look who it is sneaking in. Look at it. Look who it is sneaking in. We see ya. We see ya, B. Betty. We see ya. Wheezy girl, it's nice to see you. Judy Jones, it's nice to see you. Oh, our beautiful lady 7-Up. Thank you, love. I hope you're doing good today. I hope you're doing good. I haven't stopped because we've been so full with people for so long. I haven't stopped and said good morning to each of you in a while. So I figured we would take the time, whatever time was needed this morning, so we could all say hi, because it's been such a crazy, and this is we're already breaking into a crazy week, and we're going to be discussing some of that as well. Debbie, it's nice to see you. Hope floats. Carol loves embroidery and crime shows. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful Denise and Southern Grammy. Now it's Southern Grammy Crochets. I wonder what she's doing. Am I going to get one of those lucky things? Oh, and I want to say this to Melissa. She's the one that sent me the handcrafted gifts for Christmas. And this thing, I got to be honest with you. I hope Melissa's watching. Melissa, she will not let me take this off. This right here needs to be washed. Do you see it? It's got a little bit of stuff here. She loves this thing. She absolutely loves this thing. And so I have to fight it, and I'm just gonna break it down. I tried to take it off of her yesterday, and she was fussing with me, so I kept it on her. But it's got to get washed. And so I'm taking it off today, but I just wanted to let you know that she absolutely loves this. It's been pretty cold here too. So this has been welcoming, because the little hoodie I got her is just a tad bit too big for her. So she doesn't like it. But this fits her so perfect. She won't let me take it off of her. She won't let me take it off of her. Who else do we have? Heather, sweet, like Mandy. It's nice to see you. Stephanie, we have another Stephanie up in the house. Oh, look at that. Cheeky chops. You are a bottomless pit. You know that? You are a bottomless pit. But I got to tell you, some of the food you cook and you have the pictures, it's hard not to salivate. It's hard not to salivate. I haven't decided what I want to eat yesterday. Oh, I got to tell you guys this. I had this pork shoulder. This is what I did yesterday. I ordered from, make sure you check the size of the meat you order when you're having groceries delivered to your house, because I heard pork shoulder and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be, a nice thing of meat where I can stick it in the oven, cook it down, pull pork it, and take some and bag it up and put it in the freeze for something else later down the road, either, tacos, salad topping, whatever. I mean, it was a good, I seasoned my meat. This, I got to tell you guys, some of the stuff that I use, it's so simple to make a flavorful meal. All I did was salt and pepper the pork shoulder. I used some Kinder's buttery steakhouse seasoning. I don't know why. It's something I saw on that aggressive, the aggressive, recipes, the lady on TikTok. I can't remember her name, but anyways, I love her stuff, right? And I love watching it. And you guys like, she's wash your damn hands, right? So she does that. She's an aggressive tutorials. They're aggressive tutorials, but they're hilarious. Anyways, she loves the buttery steakhouse Kinder, and I've never used it, but because of her, I ended up purchasing it. So I seasoned my pork shoulder in salt and pepper. That was it. I put a little bit of Kinder's on it and slathered it. I got about 2 or 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard and coated the hot entire thing with Dijon mustard and then wrapped it in tinfoil and stuck it in the oven for 300 degrees for 3 hours. I opened it up about an hour and a half and flipped the meat inside of the tinfoil and closed the tinfoil back up and cooked it for the additional hour and a half. And it was one of the most, honestly, I didn't need barbecue sauce on it. It was so flavorful when it came out of the oven and I broke it up. I ate it plain. I ate it plain, no bread, with some corn and some field peas and snaps. It was, very low-cal type of food, but a very delicious, very flavorful. But I didn't have anything left over by the time I fed the neighbors. So so if you guys want a little recipe that's really good, a set it and forget it type of recipe, you didn't need to flip the meat halfway through. I just did because I had the package open to check the meat, to check the temperature. And so I just went ahead and flipped it. You don't need to do that. You can literally sit it in your oven at 300 for 3 hours. And it's like a set it and forget it type of meal. When you pull it out, you pull it out of the juice. You can even take the juice is so flavorful. You could literally set it aside and use that as a stock or a gravy later down the road. Or if you're having mashed potatoes and gravy, you can use it for your gravy. Like it's delicious. I threw mine out because I'm not using starches. I'm on a diet, folks. I'm on a diet. Okay. Bullhorn Betty is dieting. The Christmas holiday really sucked well, I guess it didn't suck the life out of me, but it definitely gave me a lot of extra calories. I haven't stopped drinking eggnog yet. Do you guys know how much calories are in eggnog? I couldn't find eggnog anywhere. Me and my best friend, we were out because we had the play date with the dogs. So she had to go to her steaks. She had these huge freaking steaks. She was trying to thaw out. And by the time I got there was still solid ice. So it's like I went from a steak to chicken real quick, right? So we went to Publix. And while I was at Publix, I ended up getting a gallon. You guys did not misunderstand what I said. A gallon of eggnog. The last bit of eggnog they had, I put into my buggy. Okay, I will not lie. And I drank 1.5 gallon. Saturday into Sunday. I was about 1,600 calories. About two coffees from Starbucks, which I've done before. But like I said, salad and low-cal food is the way for me at this point. So if you guys stuffed your face during the holiday season, nobody's blaming you. I did the same thing. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Oh, I missed somebody. Oh, Melanie, thank you so much. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Melanie, thank you. Thank you. Whoever got it, welcome to this crazy crew we call the family, the coffee club, i.e. the insane asylum. Don't mind me. We got a new member. Welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Wheezy Girl, welcome to the fam. Nice to see you. How is Delilah this morning? She is buttoned up. She's sleeping. Whenever I do live shows, it's like she knows I'm doing a live show, and she jumps up here and she gets behind my back, right? And she just lays there. But as soon as this show's over or I run over the time, like she knows what my time is on these shows, she will start popping up. You guys will start seeing her pop up on my back, and she's telling me, Mom, it's time to go out. Mom, it's time to go out. Yes, I know it's time to go out, love. Aw, thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership from Stephanie, please don't forget to tell her thank you and welcome to the family. Who else did I miss? Kim French, it's nice to see you. Brianna, it's nice to see you. Debbie, Feisty Mama, I didn't say hi to you. The Real Me Too, good morning. Lisa K, I think I got you. I think I got just about everybody else. Me, it's nice to see you. Christine, it's nice to see you as well. I think we're Mysteries Crimes. It's nice to see you, my love. Good morning. Kathy, it's nice to see you. Catherine, good morning. Sunflower Sandra, good morning, love. We've got Robin and Rhonda and Tina and Karen and Mac. Cindy, nice to see you guys. Thank you all. Thank you all. Michelle, very happy. Terry F, it's nice to see you. Melody, it's nice to see you. Mama A4, it's nice to see you. For everybody else, good morning. Good morning. We're going to go ahead and start getting started. So before we get started this morning, Mystery X, Eve Loves God, Leslie, Kay Kelly, it's nice to see you. Brown-eyed girl, good morning. Truth you can't handle, good morning. I think you should go over Letitia Stout's case. You know what? That probably wouldn't be a bad idea because there's a lot that really... The Letitia Stout case, the West case, those are two cases we should be applying to this. I only apply JonBenét Ramsey to this in the respect of the initial investigation in like the home where this child went missing from. You know, it really mimicked stuff that was done in the JonBenét Ramsey case. And it's problematic for us. Thank you. Oh, Alicia, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so sweet. So before we get started on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 articles we're going to go over. 3 of them all go together. So we're just going to gloss over. We're going to kind of dovetail all of those into like one. It's related to the fires. But language of letting go, we believe in self-care here. I always recommend everybody that's struggling with anything to get a daily meditation book, such as The Language of Letting Go. It really does help us. It puts us on the right track for the day. This is for January 13th, and it's called Take Care of Yourself. For once a person begins on this path of knowledge, they will only look inward, learning how to fix themselves instead of trying to fix other people. Letting go doesn't mean we don't care. Letting go doesn't mean we shut down. Letting go means we stop trying to force outcomes and make people behave. It means we give up resistance to the way things are for the moment. It means we stop trying to do the impossible, controlling that which cannot, and instead focus on what is possible, which usually means taking care of ourselves. And we do this in gentleness, kindness, and love as much as possible. Have you tricked yourself into believing there's someone you can control? If you have, tell yourself the truth. Stop trying to have power where you truly have none. Instead, exercise your will in a way that will bring results. The one power you always have is the ability to let go and take care of yourself. God help me make letting go and taking care of myself a way of life. I thought this was super important, especially with everything that we have seen breaking apart on X, breaking apart with all these hate channels and stuff like that. We have no control over them. We have control over ourselves and only over ourselves. What we put in our body, what we put in our brains, what we allow ourselves to engage in, and how we react, that is our own personal responsibility. And we need to take care of ourselves and get ourselves on a good foundation before we have any place to help anybody else, let alone judge anybody else, right? Do we? Of course we do. We're human beings. We do things that aren't necessarily good or right. Many of us go to church because we know we sin, right? We sin a lot. Just being in the flesh, we sin. Even the most holy, nicest, loving, honest person you will meet is still a sinner, right? So we work every week to be better. And one of the things that I've been trying to say is that we can't control anybody else. We can only control ourselves. And you could control where you go, what you do. But what we don't have is we don't have control over somebody else. We don't have control over what comes out of their mouth. We only have control of what comes out of ours and the work that we do and the actions we make. And we ourselves need to be taking personal responsibility for everything we do, right? Thank you for oh, you're welcome, Weezy girl. I love this book. I really love this book. But I'd like to take, the approach of it's just time. They've got nothing to offer. It's time to put them on the shelf, let them expire, and get focused back to where we need to get focused. Okay, I should have been wearing the tin hat. Let me get the tin hat. Let me get the tin hat. All right. Let me get dressed for this aspect of the show. Yes, I do crazy things on this show. If you guys are new to the Bullhorn Betty channel, we do crazy stuff here, okay? So right now, we are in the tin hat, okay? This is really out in left field. This is a conspiracy theory like no other. And guess what? It has to do with P. Diddy. I said that right. It has to do with P. Diddy. Now, let's listen.
There is a third arrest that is coming with an affidavit that I have already released. I am telling you, we know that it's coming. I knew it was coming when I made sure there were sworn and legal affidavits already ready 6 to 8 months ago. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires.
Death, destructions, and fires to hide the evidence in these cases related to P. Diddy and others. So did you guys hear that? Let's go back to the beginning. Sorry, I hate doing this, but I want you to hear it because this is my conspiracy theory. Okay, get your laugh in. Okay, I wear the tin hat every now and again. The only problem is I forgot the shirt that said I'm from the Tin Hat Squad, and that's just because I wore it the other day and it hasn't been washed yet.
There is a third arrest that is coming with an affidavit that I have already released. I am telling you, we know that it's coming. I knew it was coming when I made sure there were sworn and legal affidavits already ready 6 to 8 months ago. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it.
Just saying. Watch for it, right? And then we have this. Are arsons responsible for Los Angeles wildfires? Now, we're going to read this article, okay? The tin hat looks like a stove popcorn. Wait for it to pop. It's getting hot in here. I might pop all over. I don't know. Okay. So in this particular article, they're basically stating that no, we don't have any reason to believe that this was arson. So we're going to read this. These next 3 articles we're going to read and wrap. Yeah, like I'm just going to go from one article to the next article to the next article. I will not be on this channel or on this page to see your comments because I'm reading the article, which requires me to be on a different screen that blocks your comments. So I'm moving over to the screen. I'm officially on the screen now, and we're going to read the next 3 fairly quickly. I'm just going to touch base on a few of them. The key to identifying the cause of still raging Palisade fire lies on the brush-covered hilltops where the blaze broke out just after 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Fire investigators are working to determine what sparked the inferno, but experts say it's easy to rule out one common cause of wildfires, lightning. So they know for a fact lightning didn't ignite this inferno. The region was free of stormy weather this week. The area near the Temescal Ridge Trail, if I'm saying that right, sorry if I did not say that right, only you guys would know, also appears to be free of power lines or transformer, which rule out another potential cause. That leaves the source of most wildfire to people. But it's a result. Is it a result of arson? 4 experts interviewed by NBC News said it was possible. It was a possibility, but they thought the fires were more likely not set on purpose, right? So their people are saying it's not, and basically saying that usually it's accidentally set by homeless people for a variety of reasons. But just shortly after that, a man has been taken into custody for starting those fires. He's a homeless man. Oh, I lost my audio. I'll have to, before we go into videos, I'll have to reestablish that. So now we have a homeless person admitting to setting this fire and has been arrested. So now we know that this is arson. And I'm sorry. This here causes me a little bit of concern.
There is a third arrest that is coming with an affidavit that I have already released. I am telling you, we know that it's coming. I knew it was coming when I made sure there were sworn and legal affidavits already ready 6 to 8 months ago.
Okay,
the
Andrea.
world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence.
So that is what my conspiracy theory is about, because it is my understanding. Now, I could be totally wrong here, but it is my understanding that P. Diddy's house was destroyed. Does anybody know whether that is true or not? Because that would be awfully interesting after hearing this. You know what I'm saying? It really would. Also, another thing that is another issue that is affecting the Palisades is impersonators. Impersonators. And they're impersonating firefighters. We saw one of them on a live on X. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I mean, the ski goggles and the dollar. So there it is. There's my conspiracy theory. Now we're done with the tin hat theory. The tin hat theory. So I just wanted you guys to get updated on that. Let me go ahead and cancel this out so I can reset this up. Now, the next stuff other than that, I know everybody's been very concerned about the fires that are raging. I know people are affected by this. I know even Chronicles of Olivia had a friend out there in the area that she actually helped find her friend's home. Like, she helped shop for the home. And her friend's home is literally rubble right now. Absolutely rubble. Say a prayer for the people. You know, I don't know why anybody would intentionally set a fire that killed people. I hope if this guy really did it, he should be charged with all the deaths that came from it. And from my understanding, there's at least situational fixer, in my opinion. Yeah, that's probably right. Elisa B always. But there were people that lost their lives. There are homes that are destroyed that don't have homeowners insurance because of the policies in California. And they didn't do the necessary preparations for the fire season that should have been done. And that is squarely on the state of California. Gavin Newsom is now, trying to show strength. He should have been showing strength long before it got to this point. He should have been doing something with his insurance in that state long before this. He should have been doing the normal preparations to mitigate these fires. None of that was done. This is squarely on the government in California. And what really, really upsets me is when you read these articles, Los Angeles, they're like, we're tough on crime. Really? Tough on crime. Tough on crime. I read something. It wasn't that verbatim, but it was something along those lines about how they don't allow criminals, blah, 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 blah. I call bull.
That was bullshit.
Because we had our sheriff here in Florida, Polk County Sheriff, trying to do a drug, trying to stop drugs from flowing into Florida, right? Grady Judd found the drugs were coming in from Mexico into Los Angeles, California airport. He had it tracked from the airport into Florida. And so he had arrest warrants to go in and get the bad guys. And he reaches out to local law enforcement, says, hey, we have warrants. Well, you know, we really don't raid people's houses. We wait until they come out, and then we might arrest them, depending on it. Now, we have that documented from Grady Judd from his own YouTube channel. Yes, he's quite the YouTuber himself. And I just found that to be almost a slap in the face to people around this country to say you're strong on law enforcement, yet you won't go into a home that you have a warrant to effect an arrest because it's against your policy. That's not really law and order in my book. Bad guys, you got arrest warrants. You go get the person and you drag them wherever they need to be dragged. And you don't get scared to knock and bust in a door when you have the authority to knock and bust in a door. That to me shows no backbone and no balls in the most dangerous city in America from our law enforcement. Just saying. If they were a little bit more tough on crime, they wouldn't have lawlessness. We have a little bit of lawlessness here, right? We can't stop everything. But we have policies in place that when you're a bad guy and you're hiding out in a house, we go in that house and pull your butt out and bring you where you belong to be, where you're supposed to be, jail. We definitely don't sit in a car twiddling our thumbs praying to God you walk out of your house. All right, enough of that. Enough of my complaint. So if you guys know about Alex Murdaugh, we covered this case in depth. And he had a disbarred lawyer that he worked with, Corey Fleming, which kind of got sucked into this and quite frankly was doing some things that any attorney would have known were unlawful to do. Two people, his attorney as well, the other attorney, as well as his banker, and I can't remember Lafitte. I know it's Lafitte, but I can't remember his first name. Got sucked into this, and Lafitte went to jail. He was convicted of his crimes. However, the Supreme Court overturned his conviction. I can't remember what happens, or if he has to go, through the process again, or if they are going to go through the process again. I can't remember. I'll have to look that aspect up. But Corey Fleming was the other attorney that he was working with, especially for his deceased housekeeper's case, where he actually hired Corey on behalf of the family to go after him for this judgment. And he was willing to go through this judgment, yet what he ended up doing is stealing the entire judgment amount from the clients that he was supposed to be protecting, which was his housekeeper. Now, a housekeeper of 30 years, he stole from her family. She gave him 30 years of dedicated service, raising his children. And she was the first to go, and he was the first. That was the first big pocket, it seems, that he stole from. Well, Corey Fleming is actually going to be on the hook for $3.7 million. Oh, thank you. I'll be going over these starred stuff in just a second. Thank you. Good morning to you too. So Corey Fleming is now on the hook for $3.75 million in actual damages. So he's going to jail. I don't know how this is going to turn out, if he's going to be able to have an appellate case or not. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be, we're getting close. What are we doing? We got we got two more things. This is going to start coming a little more closer to home and closer to the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. This is a situation that is near and dear to me, and it's something I fight here in my own community. I work a lot with trying to make sure that children that have dysfunctional homes aren't being punished for their behavioral issues from that dysfunctional home. What I find out is most children, now this is not every child, you don't hear me saying 100% of the time, this is for most children. Most children that act up in school typically have problems at home, okay? There's things beyond their control that many people don't know what's going on, nor are they going to tell their teachers or anybody else that they're going through at the house. And what happens when you have a teenager that's going through a lot and they don't know how to handle it? they typically buck. They typically start smoking cigarettes. They typically start hanging out with the wrong kids and stuff like that. And I believe the issue is the home, not the child. You fix the home, you fix the child. That's really my philosophy. A lot of these homes can't be fixed, and you have, you know, children that grow up to be dysfunctioning adults. So you really try to catch these things at a younger age. Ruining these children's lives is not, in my opinion, the way any state should go. It should be a last resort. A child going to juvenile detention should be left for those that are beat up, you know, are violent people. The children that are just doing stupid stuff like breaking into cars, stealing loose change. Yes, it is a crime. I do believe there needs to be programs to help find and root out what the core issue is. When you get into children, there is you have the ability to really change the direction of their life and prevent them from, you know, break the cycle of their family. Throwing them in jail at a young age is not breaking the cycle. What it's going to do is it's going to do psychological damage to that child, making them know that they're a bad child and what is the point. And that's what we try to avoid when dealing with our children, because our children aren't bad. They're taught bad. Okay. Look at any baby. I know some of you guys are new mommies or new grandparents. Look at that child. How is that child a bad child? Right? That baby comes out, that child, that little baby is innocent. From that point on, that child is taught everything. I think it's time for our country to start putting this where it belongs on the parents. The parents need to be responsible for their children financially and otherwise until they're at the age of 18. Now, there are certain situations where children, especially coming from law enforcement families, judge families, you know, clergy families, that kind of tend to go buck wild, right? We've known that for years. It has nothing to do with them coming from a dysfunctional home. It has to do with the lack of freedom. So there are a lot of different things we can apply, but I have to agree, I'm not going to read this article. We're just going to keep it on the title. Locking kids up is not the answer. It's an article about a few of the teens breaking into cars, doing mischief, right? Doing mischief. But there's got to be a different way than throwing kids in jail. You know, there's got to be a different way. We should be protecting their future, not ruining it. That's our job, is to protect their future, not ruin it. Now, children make stupid mistakes. We all know that. This is low level for me. Could it increase to something more? Yes, absolutely. Kay in the shadow says the Supreme Court has not officially ruled yet. However, they're not budging. ByteDance has to sell or get lost. I believe the official ruling will be ban it because it's not going to sell. They can't sell it because they're not going to sell their algorithm. They can sell the name, but the name is nothing without the algorithm. So I think that this is, to me, I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one bit. This is not fair trade. I understand it's China. There could be things that we as a country could put into place to protect ourselves from China getting them. We could put different regulations on them to acquire the same type of security that we are requiring. There's more that could be done on our end. I feel like this is a way to try to steal, to be honest with you. This is something that China has. This is an algorithm that China has. And it, to me, feels like this is our government's trying to force them to provide us the algorithm. I don't think this has national security issues at all. Because how do we resolve national security issues? Anybody that has clearance are barred from downloading TikTok. Problem solved. Because let's face it, our government doesn't give a rat's patootie if they're following us. They don't care if the Chinese know our social security numbers, can sell our stuff on the black market. Hell, China has everything on all of us anyways, is from where I sit. This to me seems a little bit different than that. Our government's trying to peddle national security, but we heard that before. Remember 9/11? We had national security concerns, so they forced us to get rid of our privacy rights for national security. It's called the Patriots Act. I don't trust my government anymore, if you guys haven't noticed. I don't trust my government. I didn't know not to trust my government, but I don't trust my government. I'm one of those, I'll follow the rules, but I don't trust the process, right? Why do I say that? Is because we, the American people, have never received one scintilla of evidence supporting who crashed our planes into the World Trade Center. Yet we went to war. We ended up killing 2 people that had their countries over this. Yet they're from different countries. And then to boot, we're finding out that our allies, Saudi Arabia, could have been responsible, which tells me it sounds like an inside job. I don't trust our government because they are sleaze bags. We don't have statesmen. We have people that want to put policies in place for us for profit. And that's just how I feel. And then that was exacerbated during COVID. That was when I truly stopped trusting my government, is with all the lies from the COVID stuff. And I know it was lies because I did my research. I was not going to be ignorant on those facts. Here's, as we're creeping a little closer, I know a woman can't call her a mom. She gave birth to 11 kids, raised 0. My parents stepped in due to the birth of a set of twins that are amazing people today. Aw, their siblings, all inmates. It's the truth, you know. We should not be waiting for our government to train and teach our children. I'm sorry, and that's what they want to happen. It is our responsibility to raise our own children. It's our responsibility, not somebody else's. And if you're not going to take the responsibility serious, there's other options for you, right? There's foster care for your child. There's adoption for your child. There's so many other things that you can be doing if you do not want your child. Or you have problems, right? You got and you want the best life for your child. Sometimes the best thing you can do is do what's right for your child, not what's easy for your child. Right is sometimes one of the hardest decisions you will ever have to make in life. But we all have to do something, right? We just can't sit here but parents do. And then we have to deal with the aftermath. So this is going into Hendersonville. This is something that happened yesterday. I didn't know if you guys had heard it, so I just thought so everybody could be aware of what's going on. Law enforcement launched an investigation Sunday into a homicide involving a teenager in Hendersonville. So just to let you know, this Sumner County is not as safe as many would like to believe. And there's crime. There's crime here. Sad that this has happened. Hendersonville Police Department said it responded to shots fired at the 1100 blocks of Volco Drive Sunday, January 12th. When authorities arrived, the call was changed to a homicide. Law enforcement announced Sunday night the victim of a homicide, which appears to be an isolated incident, has been identified as a 16-year-old boy from Nashville. I just want to pray for the family. That is, I can't even imagine. According to officials, the suspect is no longer in the area. On January 13th, a press conference released from the Hendersonville Police Department stated 18-year-old Amani Jordan was wanted on a warrant for second-degree homicide connected to the shooting. Officials shared the following photo of Jordan. So his life is over. He's taken a life. But I know there's a lot of people from this area that watch this show. So if you've seen this person, or have any information about his whereabouts, you're asked to call the Hendersonville Police Department at 615-822-1111, or you can reach directly out to Hendersonville Crime Stoppers at 615-594-4113. And of course, this brings me to another issue that I just came across right now. We have a Hendersonville Crime Stoppers. Why have they not been involved in the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case? Usually it's always the local Crime Stoppers that are the first ones to provide any type of reward in these types of cases. Yet we have heard nothing about Hendersonville Crime Stoppers related to the Sebastian Rogers case. So there is your up-to-date information on everything that I gathered that I thought you guys might be interested in. If you guys would like more information about those topics, you can go reach out directly to those publications to get the information. All right, guys. Yes, you see it. 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 That's where we are at today. We all recognize these nail-chewed, both of them. Good gracious. Neither one of them can keep their nails on their hands. It looks like they have a chewing of the nail problem. Chewing of the nail problem. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from inside his locked home and has not been heard or seen from since. It's alleged that his mom last seen him February 25th as he was going to bed, and when she woke up February 26th, Monday morning, to get him up, get him ready for school, he was not in his bed, according to his mother. His mother immediately called the stepfather. The stepfather asked her to look here, 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 and then they immediately, and I mean immediately, called law enforcement. Fast forward to January 13th, 2025, and what we will say is that that statement is utterly false, because it took from the time the mom called the stepfather over 30 minutes to call law enforcement. And that was after they made a couple calls prior to calling law enforcement. One being directly to the biological father. They tried to reach out to him at 6:20, but didn't call his main office. They knew to call the back phones of Sumner County to get them out there for their child on a non-emergency line, a dispatch line, but somehow just couldn't figure out how to call Seth at his work. I want that to sink in. They could call, not 911. They could call the non-emergency line for Sebastian's disappearance instead of 911, it being only 3 numbers. 911, right? They called the 615 blah 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 blah, right? Number. And here we have a situation where they couldn't do that for Seth, the father. So they knew he was at work and decided to leave him a text message. Emergency call, 6:20. They had the wherewithal to call the father before they called law enforcement. I want that to reign supreme here. All right, getting on with this. So this was one of the second mainstream media interviews that this family had. And I got to say, this is one of the interviews we do not cover. We have not covered as much. I think maybe we played it once, maybe twice all the way through on this channel. And somebody else was going over some snippets of this particular interview, and it raised my eyebrows. And I started thinking maybe we need to discuss this. Let me go up here and see what kind of questions we have. Honey Dip says Hendersonville needs some looking into and some changes need to be made. I'm telling you, they need, the whole county needs better leadership, period. I have been in a lot of counties. You guys got to understand, prior to, YouTube of true crime, I was political. ultra political. I'm still ultra political. Okay. I have been all over this country for politics. I have met with a lot of governors. I have met with a lot of congressmen and women for the state as well as federal. I have a lot of people that are in politics, a lot of people that I lean on in politics. You guys have watched me go to a lot of different things, right? Some of you guys know some of the people I know, some of you guys don't. But I'm ultra political. And I've been in great running counties, and I have been in some of the worst running counties. And I can tell you, this is not the worst running county I've ever been in, but it's toxic. And it's toxic at a leadership level in that county. It's toxic at a leadership level in that county. Now, can the politicians that are in office right now start working for the people? Yeah, they could. I don't know what's going to go on. You know, like I said, we're going to figure it out after this whole thing with the circuit court. I may end up renting this house out and moving into the area in Sumner County, since they like Bullhorn Betty so much. They wanted to extend my 3-day trip there. If this doesn't, I can tell you right now, if this doesn't go away at the circuit court level, because it's bullshit, then I'm packing up the house and I'm moving to Hendersonville, Tennessee. Obviously, they want me there. So that's where I'll be going. And I've already made the plans. I've already have the plans. I've already started decluttering this house. We'll see where it all goes. We'll see where it all goes. But considering that I have been told by many people they don't work for anybody except their taxpayers, which is against the law and against the Constitution. But since we've heard it, we've also had evidence of it recorded, such as when people went up to talk to the sheriff, he's asking them if they're residents of the county before he responds to them. I think that's disgraceful. That is only implying that he does not work for everybody. He only works for his taxpayers, which could not be further from the truth and not how our country is designed. So if he needs me to be a taxpayer before he works for me, by God, I'm going to be his taxpayer. And I can promise you, when I say I'm going to do something, my audience knows I'm going to do it. You want me there? Sure. I'll be up your crawl every single day. Got nothing but time on my hands. I work from home. I march to the beat of my own drum. But hey, they want Bullhorn Betty. I'm moving there. And I'll give them 100% Bullhorn Betty. Lawfully and legally. Crime Stoppers never came forward for Sebastian. What a shame. They have not. I agree that would be ideal. Fortunately, there are some supportive programs available for families dealing with learning delays and disabilities. And there are. I don't think these children that are breaking into cars and wreaking havoc on their street have disabilities. I think that they're just troubled kids without guidance from good guidance and good discipline in their home. Discipline doesn't mean beating your child, right? We don't believe in abuse here. We believe in proper child rearing, proper discipline of a child. That's what's going to make our world in the future. You know, our children just can't be running around. Yeah, we want to be cool parents. To what extent? You know, we got to play the tape through. Is this going to make my child become a drunk or a drug addict? I mean, it's becoming just like that. How popular do you want your kid to really be? Some people need to ask themselves that, because there's a lot of parents that think they're friends with their children instead of parents to their children. And then you find out in their 20s and 30s, they're dead because they've had ODs. And their mom and dad are destroyed and distraught and can't figure out how they got there. I'll freak out if my baby drinks more than two to 3 sips of apple juice a week. The sugar is literally poison in their tiny body. Sugar-free everything in this home. Every once in a while, it's okay. Yeah, I agree. Every once in a while is absolutely okay. I mean, you guys know me. I mean, I'm down to 0 calorie everything. It's water, coffee, and even in my coffee, I think the only fat I have in my coffee, oh, by the way, Self-Governed Bro. I'm drinking out of your cup today. It's even my syrup that I put in there, 0 calorie. I'm 0 calorie. We have so much calories in our food that the best thing that we can do is find a 0 calorie solution for each one of you. I can tell you whenever I was at my heaviest, it was because I was drinking sweet tea. I drank more than I ate. Still do. Still do. Aww. Thank you. Cheeky Chop's still hanging out. He doesn't really do true crime. It's kind of funny. Well, it's nice to see you, Cheeky. Hopefully you got some food in your belly by now. Hopefully you got your food in your belly. All right. Without further ado, guys, thanks for chatting in there in the chat. We need to put the oil. We need to put the oil. What do you mean? Are you cooking right now? All right, so we're going to get on to the interview. We're going to break it down. It's 14 minutes. It's going to bring us through to probably about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. We're not opening the phone lines up today. We'll probably do it tonight. I just want to, again, thank the people here that have been donating and making sure that this channel is properly supported. I thank you guys. Look at all this. You guys are just too freaking sweet. You guys are just too freaking sweet. Look at all this. You guys make, oh, you guys are so sweet. We got new members. Star Child, welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Nikki's mom, thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. We'll go back over those. But I did want to get to Jasper. I promised Jasper I would circle back to his statement. And it was, Sebastian was a planned disappearance. I have always been on the fence with this whole planning. I mean, I'm starting to see more things that could be attributed to possible planning of his disappearance. But honestly, I'm not quite there yet. I've got to get some more information about some key details before I'm there with the planned or premeditated motivation. I'm getting closer to that. I'm just not there yet. I haven't gotten anything that leads me to that conclusively. And that's what I'm looking for, is conclusively. We do believe we have enough evidence supporting that Sebastian did not walk out of his home on his own conclusively. I don't need law enforcement telling me what to think or how I'm supposed to think or what I can speak out of my mouth. This is from my personal research I've done. Okay, so I'm speaking for myself. If you do not agree with those statements, please do your own fact finding and research. This is the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're going to be talking about Bullhorn Betty and my philosophies. There's a live chat that you guys can discuss. The only request I have from everybody here is that you debate the issues and not the people. We all have our own opinions, guys. None of them are right or wrong, and I'm going to say it just like that. None of them are right or wrong because we don't know really what happened. We know that certain things are fact, but everything else is conclusion, is assumption and speculation and our own personal conclusion. Let me put it that way. So we're at the hands, but I know that there are, just to let you know, Jasper, I know that there are some people in here. Actually, maybe tomorrow we'll find out where we are in the split on who believes this is premeditated and who doesn't. So we'll run that poll tomorrow morning and get a good idea of where we are in the chat. I'm not there yet. I'm getting closer. The more that at night private intelligence releases, like the green shirt hoodie and law enforcement saying it's a nothing burger, but we're seeing that there's obviously something going on there, but we're just, we keep that to the side. We're not dismissing it. We're just moving on from it until more information is developed about it. That's it. But we've learned a lot in this case. And really, it's at night private intelligence that's kind of providing me the supporting information necessary to push me toward the fence, eventually on the fence, and eventually over the fence, if that's the way things are. But I'm not even close to the fence yet on it. I'm getting closer, but I'm not there. Need more information. All right, this is the Hands interview. This is from Fox 7, Channel 17, Nashville. I'm not sure why they would not show their face in this particular interview, but after their very first interview, I think the very next day, the behavioral panel did something. And then a few days later, they did this one, but they refused to go on camera. They refused to allow anybody to see their face, their body language, or their expressions. But there are still some verbal cues in here that are concerning for me. Now, I'm not going to be on this side where I can see chat, so y'all bear with me. And then we'll be back over here and we'll kind of have a chat discussion about it. It's about 14 minutes long.
Just to start, just so we have it on file, just both your first and last names and spelling.
Katie Proudfoot, Katie, Proudfoot, Proudfoot.
Chris, Chris, last name's Proudfoot, Proudfoot.
So, I mean, first, just as parents, tell me what the last now over a week has been like for you two.
Horrible beyond words. This was an experience that I would have never dreamed would come.
Right there. What? Would come what? True? An experience? These are first things that I don't like how it's explained. This is an experience that she would have never, what, hoped for? She would have hoped for? I don't think I can go back. It's not like YouTube. So.
OOT.
Chris, Chris, last name's Proudfoot, Proudfoot.
So, I mean, first, just as parents, tell me what the last now over a week has been like for you two.
Horrible beyond words.
If it's horrible beyond words, would you anticipate a mom going out to look for her son? You got to remember, a week, and this lady never even walked out of her house to search for her son in the woods or any other place. They still stayed nestled in their home, out of the limelight or the spotlight, not answering any questions. This was the first behavioral issue, I think, that we as the public started questioning, because we've never seen this from parents before. I mean, we have, such as Letitia Stout, where she refused to allow them to record her face, so they had to set up the camera behind her and get her back of her head when she was talking to the news organization. But this, what parent, when you have a missing child, is going to hide their face where people can't see how upset they are while they're trying, especially if they think somebody took them? And we heard her tell Nancy Grace she believes somebody took them. So if that's the case, why aren't you having a plea for Sebastian and speaking directly to the abductor to humanize your son in the abductor's eyes? These are techniques that have been used by law enforcement for many, many years. Yet it's not being used here. That's it. You don't hear any shaking of their voice. You don't hear any real emotion from them. They're like robots.
This was an experience that I would have never dreamed
would come.
Honestly,
true? She stopped it. She stopped herself. It would come, what, true?
I can't put words to how hard this has been and how much it hurts not knowing where my son is.
But most people, when they don't know where their child is, actually goes and looks for their child. Sorry, I can't hit on that enough.
Where he's at, if he's okay. horrible is the best thing I can say.
So she's now visualizing if he's okay. So a mom having to say that out of her mouth would have to envision something in the cortex of him not being okay, yet she is stone-faced and completely calm here.
What about for you?
It's rough. I mean, we are on day 11, no answers. And the horrible things that people say just keep rolling in.
So it's been 11 days. I want you guys to hear this. It's been 11 days they haven't seen their child, and they're already not even a minute and 19 seconds into this interview talking about themselves and what they're going through, not concerned with what his stepson's going through, where he could be. Is he tortured? Is he deceased? Is he being abused? They're more concerned about what other people are saying, and that's important because we're only a minute and 19 seconds into this interview. Chris opens his mouth, and it becomes about them instead of their son, his stepson.
Regardless of taking time to consider the facts and, assumptions is what they're going.
Let's listen to what her actual question was. Let's listen to what her actual question was to him.
Day 11. No.
Let's listen. Let me go back just a little bit more. There, maybe there.
What for you?
It's rough.
No, let me go back just a little bit more.
I can say.
What about for you?
It's rough. I mean, we are on day 11, no answers. And the horrible things that people say just keep rolling in.
So it's all about them. He has no concern about Sebastian or what he may be going through. He only cares about how people are treating him. That to me is pretty sick. And I've also looked up, I used AI, I won't lie. I used AI and I plugged in my profile for Mr. Proudfoot. Let me find it if I can. Personality. Okay, so I plugged in all of his stuff, his behaviors and stuff that I saw. And they have like 6 different possibilities of disorders or a combination of them. And the first one's narcissistic personality disorder. This is for the stepfather. Antisocial personality disorder. Paranoid personality disorder. Trauma-related related disorders such as PTSD or complex PTSD, which I don't think it is. Pathological or compulsive lying, which is called pseudologia fantastica, pseudologia. I can't pronounce it. We'll have to plug it in. I wouldn't care what anyone said about me. Just please help me find my kid. Exactly, Tina girl. Exactly. The tapping of Chris' finger when KP answers is so telling. I know this is all we can do for behavior. You're right, Lulu. You are absolutely right. I don't believe, now he does have this pathological compulsive lying. It says habitual lying, even without clear benefit, often tied to underlying personality trait or disorder. So this is one that's associated with another one. So I would have to say that this particular number 5 is associated with number 1, which I truly believe is the narcissistic personality disorder. Key traits, grandiosity, lack of empathy, manipulative behavior, compulsive lying, and the need for control. Relevance, the secretiveness, abuse of others, the isolation of family could stem from desire to maintain dominance and control while hiding vulnerabilities. It seems like it fits very perfectly. The key traits for anti-personality disorder is disregard for the rights of others, manipulative tendencies, lack of remorse, and compulsive lying. So you see why they brought this up. The relevance, a history of abuse, both experienced and perpetrating. Secretive behavior and lying must fit within this framework. A paranoid, I don't know if he falls under the paranoid personality because it's distrust and suspicion of others, desire for privacy, and isolating loved ones as a form of protection. I don't believe that has anything to do with it. We don't have any evidence that he's ever experienced anything to produce a PTSD or complex PTSD. And then, of course, we have the pathological compulsive lying. And the other one is borderline personality disorder, which is a fear of abandonment, intense relationships, manipulative behavior, and emotional instability. And of course, I'm not a psychologist or a medical practitioner of any kind. But based on what I've researched and everything, I would have to say the narcissistic personality disorder is reigning supreme when it comes to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I also believe that the antisocial personality disorder is more in line with, say, Katie Proudfoot and her issues that she's displaying. So I think one's for him, two's for her, and I think both of them. I don't think she has a compulsive lying disorder because she's not out here on screen. I don't think she has the ability to do it well. Chris does. So I really do think that, just my opinion, not a medical opinion whatsoever. I'm not a medical professional, just based off everything I plugged in for his personality into AI to decipher what, if anything, could be attributed to his behaviors, and that's what I found. So getting back to the Hans interview, let me take that off real quick. There we go.
Regardless of taking time to consider the facts and, assumptions is what they're going off of. But I don't know, for us, we sit here and we wait, and hopefully we'll get an answer, or hopefully he walks through our door, which would be amazing.
I was going to say, how badly do you both want Sebastian to just walk through that front door to get that call?
I'd give anything. In a heartbeat, I would give anything.
That, I believe her. I believe she'd give anything. I believe she'd give anything for this situation to go away. Yet it's not going away, which also leads me to why I feel the way I do about the case.
It's not measurable. Let's put it that way. There's no measurable. Anybody says all it is. You've never sat in these shoes. You've never been in this situation. And I don't ever wish for people to be in this situation.
This is an interview about their son, not about them. And we're 2 minutes in, and we've heard nothing but about them. Nothing. 2 minutes in, it's all been about them and what they're going through. What about their son? What is he going through? Where is he? Is he being tortured, beaten, essayed? We don't know. But these calm parents here are too concerned about what they're going through in this time of crisis, not what this 15-year-old boy could be going through.
And what's Sebastian like? What's his personality like? What does he love to do?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for finally bringing up Sebastian. I don't know if they would have actually done it themselves. Let's listen.
He, for the most part, is happy. He likes to laugh and joke and tell you all about everything and then some. He loves games. He loves video games.
Loves video games. Loves video games. I want you guys to resonate with you because it comes back to his gaming system, that Switch that was left at his home. That to me was one of the oddest pieces of anything being left, because we all know, especially the majority of my channel does have a lot of people that have experience with family, friends, their own children having autism or being on the spectrum. And they know how important it is for these children to have their games. and how beneficial those games are to their overall happiness and mental health.
He loves to play with his Legos, even building things with me. We build little projects here and there, but
I would say there more so than here and there. I don't recall anything being built from Sebastian in the. I wonder if he ever built anything with them in this new house.
He's always a character.
Are there any like weird tendencies that he has that might be able to help people find him in this search?
I don't know how helpful to finding him, but he fidgets constantly. He loves shiny pennies, paper clips. He's always like, whenever we go to the grocery store, he always looks on the ground and looks under the register counter, and he's always looking for shiny pennies everywhere. Paper clips. He loves to bend them out of shape and play with them, fidget with them. He loves playgrounds.
But she's never spoke, not one time out of almost a year, when the last time she took him to a playground was.
I mean, we've said it before, he likes fishing and things like that, but...
cats. Boy loves cats.
He does. He loves cats. It's his favorite animal.
They're having a hard time. They have lived with this child for 8 years. 8 years. And they are literally, it appears to be lost for words. They appear to be lost for words when describing their son. How many of you, like, I listen to my mom, okay? When somebody talks to her about my sisters or, like, I hear, you know, it doesn't matter whether, you know, one of us had a meltdown, you know, or we couldn't find the right outfit, or the shirt we had, well, you know, was dirty that we wanted to wear. And it's like, Mom, gosh, you didn't get my laundry done. How much we take for granted when we're younger. I wish my mom, you would come over here and wash my clothes now, but I don't get the opportunity because I'm an adult now, right? But and you hear your mom explain who you are or talk to somebody, and you know what they always talk about? They talk about the most proud moments that you have, whether you're in cheerleading or doing this or doing that. You know, the parents always seem to talk. They never talk to you like, you know, she likes to fidget and stuff like that. It's like, oh, he loves to run. You know, he got all these rewards for running. He plays chess. He loves playing video game. They always put it in an upbeat. Like you could have a meltdown blowout at the house over, you know, a shirt, right? A shirt not being clean that you want to go to school in, right? And you're like, your mom's ready to hurt. She's ready to spit nails, right? Over a stupid shirt. She's ready to spit nails. And somebody at work will be saying, oh, how's your daughter? Oh, she's doing great. She did this, she did that, da-da-da. And, you know, just a half an hour before, she was ready to rip your tongue out of your mouth, right? So it just goes to show you from how people explain and talk. I just really don't believe these people. They're so isolated. I don't think they understand. Or they do. I don't know.
I don't know. He's a good kid.
There are no leads, nothing caught on video. Your son has been missing for 11 days now. How does that make you feel as parents?
I mean,
let's go back. And she can't even answer. She's it's almost like you see her grinning like she did in the WSMV video.
I mean, I don't have words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean, every day is harder than the last. I mean, we're out, we're looking, we're
out, we're looking. First lie.
We're trying to make sure that everyone stays looking.
Make sure everyone stays looking by having at this point, her husband has already, scared the crap out of Miss Bobby at this point. That happened 3 or 4 days after this took place, where he stood in the middle of the road and told the lady that owns a home in that neighborhood longer than he has to go home. Can you imagine somebody coming out that I don't know, looking at me and telling me to go home? I would have told you to get bent. I would have told you to get bent just like that. Who the heck do you think you are telling me what I can and cannot be doing?
And doesn't let his face fall to the bottom of a feed or
fall to the bottom of a feed. Now, people have been really honing in on this statement, this falling to the bottom of the feed. They believe that this is I didn't even realize it wasn't up. Sorry, guys. That this was a Freudian slip. Where is your face? Where's his face? Where's your face? Exactly. But his face fall to the bottom of the feed. And that's what she said. Feet, not feed. Let's go back and listen to that just a little bit more. Maybe it says feed, but I think it said feet.
His face fall to the bottom of a feed or get covered by some other nonsense. I mean,
or get covered by some other nonsense.
We just want our boy home.
When you walked in Monday morning and didn't see Sebastian in his room, what was your gut reaction?
My very first reaction was, oh, he got up and got breakfast. But when I realized he actually wasn't in the house, I've never experienced sheer panic in the way that I did. And basically for every minute since.
Sheer panic for every minute since. Does this sound like a panicked woman that you're listening to? She's saying that she has been in this panic state since she woke up and realized her son wasn't in the house. Yet we've had no emotion, no behavior or action even attributed to panic that we have exhibited at all during this case. Sheer panic. She has been able to speak to the audience with no emotion, but she's talking about an emotion of panic. Sheer panic means no panic to her. Panic, they are going to get caught and go to Patty Lee. That's what Patty Lee says. But you would have to walk past him before getting to his room. Yes, and we have. We'll show that because we have more people in the chat right now. We have a 3D image of inside their home that shows the layout and shows from their room. She's got to go past the kitchen to get down the hall to get to his room. I would think that if she was walking, she would have seen a being there. I mean, there's been times, let's be honest, there's been times we've looked at somebody we know, looked dead at them and never saw them. And they're like, why did you ignore me? I was waving at you. And it's like, you were waving at me? They're like, yeah, you were looking right at me. I didn't see you waving. You know, there are situations we have to apply, that as well. We've all experienced that. I have to believe we've all experienced that because I've experienced that multiple times throughout my journey in this game called life, right? Let's see what is panic? What is panic? Let's see what the definition of panic is. Panic is an intense and sudden feeling of fear or anxiety that can cause irrational thought or action. Let's repeat that. This is what it says for panic. Panic is an intense and sudden feeling of fear or anxiety that can cause irrational thoughts or actions. The one thing I can honestly say is I haven't seen any of this irrational thought or action since this child has disappeared. As a matter of fact, what I have exhibited were rational thought processes. Now, their thought processes weren't the right processes, but you could tell they weren't making irrational decisions or actions. They were very, very much deliberate from where I have been sitting. And this is in all of their interviews combined. All of their interviews combined.
That not knowing where your child is a pain that I've never known pain like this before.
I've never known pain like this before. So wouldn't you anticipate that if she was in this panic and she has this fear, wouldn't you expect more emotion from a mom with this panic and this intense pain that she's never felt before? Now, we've seen a lot of parents, a lot of moms, especially Riley Strain's mom. We just had that young girl. Where was she? In Las Vegas, where the parents didn't know where she was. And the mom could not, like I said, it's uncontrollable and inconsolable behavior from parents when they don't know where their children are. These are very calm, cool, collected, deliberate people, mom and stepfather for Sebastian Rogers. Very deliberate, very calm, not showing what she's describing, has never showed what she's describing.
And walk me through the events that happened, from Sunday leading up to Monday when you didn't see him that morning.
All right. Deception deck time. Deception deck time. We are going to go with, let me find it. We are going with, I got to find it, but we're going to go with vagueness. That is the card we're pulling out of the deck today, vagueness. And you're going to understand why we are picking out vagueness. I found the vagueness card. Okay. Let's listen to what happened leading up to Sebastian's disappearance. Let's see. Why are these things falling all over the place? Hold on. These things are sliding. I think my table is not level. Oh, it's not. I just noticed that. I got to level my table. It must have fallen down. I must have smacked one side of it with all my anger and frustration. I'm a Cocoa Puff over here, don't you know? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm just joking. All right, let's listen to her statement and see if vagueness card applies here.
Sunday, we were out and about. We had a really good day. We were out doing our thing, running around. We had dinner that evening.
So boom, all of Sunday, we had a great day, running around. Boom, we have dinner. If you feel that is a vague statement, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that was a very detailed statement, put a 2 in the chat. If you think that's not vague, then put a 2 in the chat, because we're about to pull out the card. 1, 1, 1, 1. Do we have any 2s? Can I get a 2? A 2 for 200. Oh, Turkey Man, I saw you. It's nice to see you, love. Nice to see you, love. Oh, Maria, you're here too. It's nice to see you. Lady Dragon, too tired to play. It's nice to see you. Okay, so we got vagueness. The real me too threw a 2 in there just so we had a 2. That's cute. That's cute. All right. So the vagueness card. This is from the Deception deck. Detectives deck. Okay. So vagueness. What it says for vagueness here. It says liars often resort to vagueness in their narratives. A tactic driven by the need to evade providing details that can be verified and the challenge of inventing a detailed story. If a story is missing specific names, times, locations, or spatial prepositions such as inside, under, over, around, it could be a sign it's fabricated. Now, the one thing we do know is that she was at BJ's. We know she was at Strikes and Spares. And we know that they went to the Texas Roadhouse for dinner. The only reason why we know what time they left from the Texas Roadhouse is because of Seth. When he saw the Proof of Life video for the first time, he said it was around 6:30 when they were leaving the Texas Roadhouse. So that was the only semblance of time that we, the public, had about this entire day Sunday. We had no corroborating information for that Sunday. None. All the information that we obtained that Sunday that Sebastian disappeared was from his mother. The only third party that had information was the Texas Roadhouse. And for months, the only thing that was released was only seen by Seth. And they only showed Sebastian walking out of the Texas Roadhouse to him, not anything going on inside the Texas Roadhouse. So when these Texas Roadhouse, anyone heard he loves to fish before? Yes, I have heard that. He loves to fish and hunt and swim. I learned that from his father. But again, it goes really against what we learned yesterday with Ken Widener, the EMA director, when they were searching bodies of water. And the reason they were searching bodies of water, it's because they believe that autistic children are attracted to water. They weren't talking about Sebastian. They were talking about statistics. And they should have been talking about Sebastian, because Sebastian is a high-functioning autistic boy. Yes, he does have his tics. He does have the things that he doesn't like, that he's adamantly affirms does not like, does not want around him, does not, those things. But one thing he is he's a great swimmer, but he's more likely to be in a pool versus a pond. And they should have been utilizing his personality, not a statistic 7 days into an investigation. Just my personal opinion. It's just a criticism, but not condemnation. And he likes to fish and he likes to hunt. That tells me that if he can handle a firearm safely, he has, a lot more than we've been led to believe. Where did he go? Fishing trips. From my understanding, the fishing was from his father, not his mom or his stepdad. And that would be something that I'll talk to. I know that Seth has talked about fishing and hunting with his son before. So maybe I will find out if I can, if that information is, is something that I can find out. I'll let you guys know.
Evening. And when we came home, we had a pretty good evening together as well. He was playing right up until bedtime, and then some. I let him stay up a little.
This is the first time she says she let him stay up a little early or a little late. Now, she has told us, maintained from February 26th up until this interview, he went to bed at 9 p.m. This is the only time she's ever stated he was up after 9 p.m. So let me just go back just a couple seconds.
A pretty good evening together as well. He was playing right up.
Did you notice she says we had a pretty good evening together? They were not together. They were not together. Okay? The only thing they did is when he came home, allegedly, and this was much later, we found out about the trash. It wasn't immediately. It was weeks later that we heard that he was the one that took the trash out. Okay. From my understanding from all of the interviews, except this one right here, she has maintained that when they got home, he went straight to his room. That's not having a good evening together. They were in the same house, but they definitely were not together. And that's according to every other interview she has done.
Until bedtime, and then some. I let him stay up a little late. And when I told him to go to bed, you know, he's like, I love you, Mom. I love you, puppies. And he went to bed. And I went to bed around midnight.
Still all vague. Still all vague. We had a whole day that she asked, what did they do that day? And it was summed up in less than 30 seconds. An entire day.
Everything seemed fine. And when I went to wake him up for school, that's when I couldn't find him. He wasn't in his room, and he wasn't in the house. And that's when I panicked.
And when you panicked, what did you do?
First thing I did was call my husband, and I said, he's not here. My husband said, what do you mean he's not here? I said, he's not in the house. And he said, you know, immediately just started, you know, did you check here? Did you check there? Did you look here? And I ran through the house. And at that point, I was hysterical, for lack of a word.
She was hysterical, for lack of better words, but not hysterical enough to get fully dressed, to brush her teeth, to put, now mind you, she just woke up out of bed, went into his room, found out her son was not there. Therefore, if she wakes up at 6 and goes to his room at 6, she should still be in her pajamas. She should not be fully dressed. She should not have her hair brushed. She should not have her teeth brushed. She should not have her clothes on with shoes on. But she did. She was not in house clothes or house slippers. She was fully dressed.
And we three-wayed the police. And
let's listen to that again. When did they three-way the police?
At that point, I was hysterical, for lack of a word. And we three-wayed the police. And I'm within minutes they were here. I couldn't tell you exactly how long.
So this is her statement. And if you noticed, she never left her house in this statement. She never left her house in this statement. She states that she stayed there the entire time. Why would she intentionally leave that tidbit of information out of all of these scenarios until later? All of these things that happened within a few weeks of Sebastian disappearing, we were told, you know, the story kept changing, especially the interjection of him going to, you know, taking the garbage out. But now we've got her story here. And she's basically stating she got up, she realized he was gone. She immediately called her husband. He told her to look in a couple places. And then they immediately called law enforcement. Not one time did she talk about getting in her car and leaving the community. Not one time did she talk about going and searching the community. She basically stated, whose dog's barking? That's theirs. She basically stated she realized he was missing, called the husband, immediately called law enforcement. And now we know that she got in her car and went, listen to this, guys, and you have to understand what's being said here. She never went to his school. She went into the driveway of his school. She went to his school, but she never went in his school. She never stopped her vehicle. She never went in there to ask to see if anybody was there, if they let him in to eat breakfast, or found him sitting at the door cold and made him come into the house or into the school because he had no shoes on. She didn't stop and ask. She literally pulled in drove in and around. And if you know anything about that driveway and the people that live in this area, which I know there's some in here watching, you guys know what I'm saying is true. That goes straight over to Warsham's. And that's what she did. She drove in this way, and then she went back out that way. She didn't even circle the parking lot of the high school, from my understanding. She drove in to the other side, near Warsham's, turned around, came back out. Now, I will tell you, it takes 2 minutes, okay? This is where my contention is. And I know this because I was there and I drove the route. It takes literally 2 minutes, probably less than 2 minutes, to go from their house and drive up to the school. Okay, 2 minutes. So 2 minutes there, 2 minutes back. She never stopped. She never got out of her car. She should have been home within 4 to 5 minutes. She didn't return home until 10 minutes or longer. So what did she do for 6 minutes? Remember, Alec Murdaugh was able to do what he had to do in 7 minutes. Bryan Kohberger was able to do what he had to do in 9 minutes. So I don't think she did anything at the school driveway. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying a lot can happen in 6-7 minutes. So what did she do for 6 minutes before she pulled back out of the school parking lot? All right, let's keep going.
I know it was fast.
But remember, she avoided all of that here. She did not discuss leaving the house at all. She was at the home. She found her son was missing. She calls her husband. He three-ways the cops. And within a few minutes, the cops were there. That's what we learned from this interview. We've learned much different from all the other interviews.
And we haven't found him.
When I got the phone call that he was missing.
Now, he was unprompted. She didn't ask him the question. She asked Katie the question. She answered the question. Now, Chris has got to clean up whatever inconsistencies or whatever he thinks needs to be added. So now he comes in to fix things. Let's listen to see what he has to say.
Like she said, we asked questions like, where's he at? Check this, check that. And then we called the sheriff's department. I called the sheriff's department. I stayed on the phone pretty much most of the time.
That statement is pretty much most of the time. He's the one that initiated the three-way call. So if he would have disengaged or hung up, the whole call would have been stopped right then and there. He was the one that made the call. We've learned that through multiple interviews. The mom calls the stepfather. The stepfather's the one that initiates the three-way call under the guise that his wife was too hysterical. Yet she could listen to him call Seth, text Seth, prior to making this call to law enforcement. But none of that is detailed in this interview. None of that. Now he's going to come back and clean up. Let's see what he has to say.
And then while I was at work, I asked for a relief. Got a relief.
We know that's a lie now. We've had enough corroborating information to know that he was kicked off his job and he never told anybody at his work that he had a missing child. They didn't find that out until law enforcement came up there to question his company.
Got in my truck from Memphis and made my way to Nashville.
And that was, I guess, Monday?
The morning that he was missing, yes.
Okay. And so what was your reaction when you got that call from your wife that Sebastian was missing?
Initially, I was like, oh, he's goofing around again. Here we go. He's like hiding. And then when we talked about the places to check and he's not there, I was like, okay, stop. Instantly. Call the police.
Instantly. Instantly. Not 30 minutes later. Instantly.
Instantly.
And does it again.
I'm a black and white kind of guy.
Black and white kind of guy. Let's listen to this again.
And then when we talked about the places to check and he's not there, I was like, okay, stop. Instantly. Call the police. Instantly. I'm a black and white kind of guy. So.
And to your knowledge, he didn't take shoes with him, right? He locked the door on his way out. Or I guess, what are some of the things that you think he did as he left?
We checked for all of his shoes and none of them are missing.
I don't know if that's a correct statement or not, because from what Seth said, he was the one that raised the alarms about the shoes.
The door was locked.
And what was there some discrepancy as to what he was wearing when he went to bed, or what was he last seen wearing? What was he wearing to bed that night?
When he went to bed, he was wearing black sweatpants with white stripes down the side. And he had on a black long sleeve black shirt with a print on the front. I'm pretty sure it was one of his
like Star Wars or Halloween or
even Minecraft.
Yeah,
those are the three main things.
That's the three things that majority is on his clothes.
Yeah.
Well, he has his flavors.
And obviously you guys are going through the unimaginable and then, getting a lot of like the kickback.
And I just want to also state that this whole clothing thing is a little odd for me, because again, this comes back to the vagueness card in the deception deck, because we've never learned. We're almost a year into this case, a year. And we know that he obviously changed clothes, right? Because we saw him in the images at the Texas Roadhouse. We saw what he was wearing at the Texas Roadhouse. It is my understanding that they produced those clothing to law enforcement, and that law enforcement has the clothing that he was seen in at the Texas Roadhouse. But what about the pajamas? We've never heard of his nightly routines. After an entire year, we have still never heard of his nightly routines. Did he take a shower? He was gone all day, out. There was nothing to describe from what we heard from the mom. He came home, he took the garbage out, and he went straight to his room. When did he take a shower? When did he brush his teeth? When did he change his clothes out of his clothes that he wore all day long and into his pajama? I bet he owned more than one Yoda shirt. Yeah, I believe he did, because we saw him in blue shirts, black shirts. I don't think all of his shirts are black. I think that they just have certain graphics on the shirts. But like his shoes, it didn't seem like he had very many shoes. I would have to assume he probably didn't have that many clothes either, right? I don't know of any teenager that's 15 years old that literally only has a pair of boots and a pair of tennis shoes. Never heard of that in my life. But that's the case for this young boy. He had 3 pairs of shoes at the front door, or at the door where they put their shoes. And those 3 pairs of shoes consisted of his old tennis shoes, his new tennis shoes, and his new boots. So if he only has 2 pairs of shoes, because those tennis shoes were old tennis shoes. So since we only have 2 pairs of shoes that this boy wears, how many clothes could possibly be in his closet? And no matter what, I mean, I'm a girl, and my mom knew when something was missing out of my closet. She washes my clothes. She's the only one that washes my clothes. She knows what I wear during the week. If she doesn't see anything in there, she assumes it's under my bed, because that's what I like to do when I had to clean my room, is throw things under the bed so nobody's seen it. Room clean. Yay! Right? But she would also say, hey, where was that floral shirt you were wearing this week? I didn't see it in the laundry. Is it under your bed? Right? And this is a girl that had lots of shoes and lots of clothes. I had a whole closet full of clothes and a whole dresser and one of those tall dressers full of clothes. And my mom could remember whether she washed all of my outfits or not. I don't know how she did it, but she did. She always knew when something was missing. So I don't understand how this family, when he has limited shoes, most likely not as many clothes as Bullhorn Betty, how they do not know which shirt is missing. I mean, if he has 10 long sleeve shirts and there's only 9 in the closet or in the drawer, they should be able to identify very quickly what shirt he should most likely has on. And still after a year, they can't make heads or tails of what shirt he had on. I did the same. You moms. You moms. Got to tell you, you guys are tricky. I don't know how you know what you know, but you know. I swear I thought my mom had eyes in the back of her head. She'll be looking forward and I'll be doing something behind her and she'd already know I was up to no good. And she says, I don't know what you're doing, but you better stop. Good old mom. Good old mom. Let's get back.
That you've seen on social media. I mean, how much worse has that made it for you two to go through something like this?
Honestly, we stopped looking at it. There's a lot of...
They stopped looking at it, except they kept watching Bullhorn Betty and trying to say every time I opened my mouth on my own channel while they stalked me on my channel, somehow it's a harassment to them or stalking them when they were the ones in my channel, not the other way around. I could care less about these two people.
Terrible people in this world. And
that is probably one of the most true statements that Katie said, but I do believe she was deflecting in that statement.
I don't want to waste energy on any of that. I want the focus.
Except for Bullhorn Betty. And Nick the Hat.
Focus on finding our son. The facts.
They want to focus on finding their son, but they think finding their son sitting at home and hiding away from the world, that's the best way to find a child.
I want the focus on finding our son. The facts are the facts. I mean, the police know the facts, and
so does social media.
All I ask of anyone is, if they're able and willing, is to help find him. Help.
Yeah, guys, I just want to let you know, if you guys help find Sebastian, you most likely will be arrested for harassing the family. So my suggestion would be to keep looking for him and piss off the family, quite frankly. But just be cognizant that this family says one thing to the public and does another thing behind closed doors. A lot of things behind closed doors.
Spread his flyer. Help look for him. Call in if you know
it. Spread his flyer, except not in their neighborhood, right? It's just as long as you spread the flyer anywhere except where this child disappeared from, they're okay with it.
Anything or see anything. But we just ask that people focus on finding Sebastian.
And he's never done anything like that before, right? Just kind of walked out of the house.
He's not a runner.
So let me just tell you guys something. Typically, autistic children that don't run, okay? You don't have a child that has never eloped before at 15 years old starting to elope. Those from experts. Now, this is experts on Nancy Grace. This is people that are in my community that work with autistic children. They have absolutely told me that it is very, very odd. And I'm going to say that just like that. Very, very odd that a child that doesn't elope would elope at such a ripe age of 15. They also stated the elopement happens at very much younger ages when they start doing it. And it persists from that point into adulthood. Now, I think it's important because we're dealing with a situation here that's abnormal. It's very difficult for autistic children to be spontaneous. I'm not saying that none of them are. I'm just saying it's very, very difficult. They're so set in their schedule and their schedule, right? They have a strict schedule that helps them thrive. So they do the same things over and over again from day to day, and it keeps them, it helps them thrive. In this situation, you're talking about a child that allegedly had no reason to walk out the door, does not elope, high-functioning autistic boy, and left without his electronics, shoes, or even a jacket, and managed to lock a door on a auto lock where you push a button and it goes, and never wake up mom. Those locks are noisy. I can tell when my electronic lock opens and closes. It goes, right? And especially think about how more amplifying a sound would be in a very quiet home. Yeah, good question, Turkey Man. She hasn't looked anywhere. They waited 10 months before they ever did their first search.
This is not normal for him to run away. He's not a runner.
And any places, I guess, I know you guys have been told to stay in the house, right? Just in case he comes home.
I can't wait to hear this answer, because these people ran away from that home, not worrying about whether he came home, actually put some food in a blanket out for him out in the front of the house like a freaking animal.
We are doing what we've been asked to do.
Never answers the question. Did law enforcement tell you to stay home? Never answered the question. And of course, Chris gives a long dissertation of avoidance instead of actually answering the question. Let's listen.
By the law enforcement agencies and everybody involved. I am not going to divulge anything more than that.
Yeah.
So we're not going to divulge whether they told us to stay in the house or not. That was her question. And he tells them that he's not going to divulge the information as to whether law enforcement told him to stay in the house or not.
What I'm trying to ask you, I guess, next is, if you were to go out and search right now, if people want to help search, what types of places would you guys look at that he could maybe be at?
Anywhere and everywhere. At this point, it's
been 11 days. He could be anywhere.
Yeah. They've searched the woods. They've searched parks. They've searched creeks. They've searched, at this point, anything and everything.
Anywhere that he could be.
They sound so panicked. They sound sheer panic that has happened to her since the moment she realized her son was gone to the current. This is what panic is to them.
Staying out of the weather or getting food, or, I mean, honestly, at this point, he could genuinely be anywhere.
How hopeful are you two that he will come home?
I will never give up hope on finding my child.
Optimism is at its highest, regardless.
But just not going out and searching for him 11 days after he's been gone and hasn't been seen.
Our son is out there. We're going to find him.
And now publicly, like, obviously police are now investigating a landfill. People are speaking out about that. What are your thoughts about that?
Everybody has an opinion and their assumptions, and they are entitled to those. But as I've stated before, all we've asked people to do is to look at the facts, not what everybody's putting out.
Well, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts a little bit. Okay, let's look at the facts a little bit. This child was at their house. This child did not wake up that next morning. We have obvious signs of movement around their home early morning hours of the 26th, literally 3 hours before this child was reported missing. We have them looking at their house, their landfill. What are those facts screaming to each and every one of you? Right? What are those facts screaming to each of what? They're not over in Clarksville. They're not going through and bringing 3D imaging equipment to Seth's home. They're not questioning people I mean, they have questioned law enforcement that he worked for, and they produced whatever they needed to produce to Sumner County to show where Seth was. So they did ask question, but where is the concentration of their investigation? The concentration of their investigation is their home and anything related to their home. If you want to talk about the facts, they're looking at their landfill. They're looking in their area. They're taking 3D images of their home. They're bringing the dogs into their home. They're bringing the dogs and searching all of their families' homes. I haven't yet heard of Miss Robin, Seth's mom, being searched. But Chris has sat on multiple platforms saying his entire family's homes, from his aunts to uncles to his mom to his dad, have all their houses have been searched. Yeah, let's look at the facts. Where's the concentration of this investigation? It doesn't seem like it's going too far from the last place he was seen. Just saying.
Out there. If they have questions, call the law enforcement agencies.
We do. You know what they tell us? Are you a resident of this county?
And they'll give you whatever they can give you.
If you're a resident of their county.
But the assumptions are just that. They are an assumption, your opinions.
I don't think the concentration or the behaviors of law enforcement is really an opinion. I mean, I think that what people can see with their own eyes actually is more factual than opinionated.
We pray for everybody, for hopefully this never happens to you. And if it ever does, then you'll understand. But I pray it doesn't.
Well, if it was just a child walking out of the home, the child would have been brought back to the home. And any parent dealing with that usually gets their child back within a few days. Definitely not a year later are we still searching for a child that was practically naked, right? He only had a shirt, diaper, and pants on. No shoes, no jacket, no nothing. But had an amazing weekend, but he will just by the end of the day, he just wasn't smiling anymore. That's all. Nothing to see over there. Nothing to see over there. So we've had a lot of information. I didn't mean for this live to go long. That's why I'm going to be doing an early morning live. It's going to get all of the cases, the pre-cases out of the way that I think you guys will be interested on. And then we'll do it at 10 o'clock for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And that will take that full hour at the beginning and move it to an earlier time. So those that would like to get caught up on different news cases, you guys can do that with the replay of early morning live. This 10 o'clock time slot's going to be for Sebastian Rogers. And then we'll do one in the afternoon, probably early afternoon. I don't like doing evening ones. It's just too hard for me because I'm up so darn early. So we'll do like an early afternoon live. We're going to be trying to get back to our 3 lives a day, seeing how that works out. So anyways, that's what I have for you guys. And also, I know that other channels have been talking about, I know Justin for All as well as Brittany J have been talking about the chaos going on and erupting on X. I just want to say this to everybody. The team Assimilated, and I want to call them the felon team. You know, we're Sebastian's army. Brittany loves coining that the green team because he loves green. But the people that were assimilated for the mom and stepfather, the people that they wanted to work with, and we told, you know, everybody knows that's been around a while, knows that the channels that they're working with are very specific channels that do very specific things. And their only goal is to run interference in these cases. That's it. And they couch it as they're, you know, trying to, you know, expose the grifters or expose the, what is it? The exploiters, right? Yet they're collecting tens of thousands of dollars a month to do it. That doesn't sound like they're here for avocation of these people against grifters or exploiters, right? It seems like it's a profit-making scheme to run interference in these cases. And what we've learned is that the unscrupulous PI is preparing reports. He does not have the expertise to prepare. He has no education in that background. He's not competent in that area, yet and the reason why I say it like that is because that is a violation of his license, right? To do these things when he has no competence to do them or no experience or education to produce them. So we've got the unscrupulous PI preparing reports that contradict the evidence that we've seen in ourselves with our own eyes. Mob Crew corrected that. Then you've got another member of their team using illicit drugs on a search for Sebastian. You got another one that won't clean their damn toilet or live very disgusting, which again, you know, these are people that are supposed to be the best representation of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And you see the hot mess express we're now dealing with that has been exposed all by itself, right? And then if that's not enough, their felon in chief is now accused of stalking her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend, has a protective order being filed against her. She's got to go to court for that on the 25th. She's got a custody issue with her ex-boyfriend. And now she's got two of her children with committing felonies inside her own home. Allegedly. I believe it was her that did it because of how angry she got and how much she wanted to try to blast and expose everybody, going back to somebody 30 years to try to justify what she did right before Thanksgiving of this year. She's somehow me being arrested 30 years ago for shoving my mom at the age of 15 when I was a hot mess express is some type of justification. I was under the age when that situation happened. She's obviously a grown-ass adult doing something to her underage child and allegedly doing something to her underage child. We will be monitoring this because I have a funny feeling she is the one that did it. And but she basically said her daughter tried to stab her. That's a felony. So her underage daughter is now committing felonies. And that her older daughter choked her younger daughter out. Again, another felony. So you've got a felon blaming her two underage children for committing felonies under her roof. And then what does she do? When we all know her children need parental guidance and need their mother, she goes on a 7.5-hour live, completely ignoring her children yet again, which is probably a lot to do with their behavioral issues. And that is the team that is supposed to be representing this beautiful boy right here for the mom and the stepfather. Just filth. Sweet Sativa, you are right about that. It is just filth. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say we need to move past the chaos. We've identified the problems. The problems have exposed themselves by the grace of God. Now we know that they're not this elite team of people, right? Which we've all known that. And now they can't sit there on their pedestals and act like they're this elite team of people, right? Sorry, Sebastian's army has been laser focused on one thing and one thing only, finding any information to help bring Sebastian home safely. That has been our primary goal from the beginning, and we were sucked into a bunch of chaos. And now we have been relieved from the chaos because we've been praying, and God moves mountains. And the mountains he moved was taking the blinders off everybody out here if they choose to have the blinders off. Now, we have a lot of despicable parents out here that, you know, gravitate, birds of a feather flock together. So anybody that supports a woman ignoring her children and allowing them to commit felonies under her roof is a great mother while she sits on her channel for 7.5 hours when her children need her and need help. That is a piece of shit to me. So how can we have a piece of shit mom trying to help advocate for a missing child? Doesn't work. Take care of your own children first. You're no good to anybody else if your whole entire life is in chaos. Clean up your own life. You're better equipped to help others. And that's what's missing from there. All of them have chaotic lives, chaotic things going on in their personal life and other things that they keep trying to act like it's not going on while they put this face on. And they never, ever, ever advocate for Sebastian. You know what they advocate for? Smear campaigns, misinformation, disinformation. That is the product they're selling on their channel. We believe factual information. We believe education, right? And that's what we try to do. I don't need an officer telling me what I can say on my channel and what I can't say. That's why I go boots on the ground. That's why I pay thousands of dollars every year, tens of thousands of dollars every year to go out and get my own information, accurate information, so I'm not reliant on any law enforcement, because I don't believe in the media anymore. Mainstream media, with the exception of a few top players like Vinnie Politan, Nancy Grace, I think are garbage. You know, I think truly are garbage. They don't even the local. I like some of the local people out there in Sumner County covering this case. But you know what? They covered for their law enforcement, because even in their commentary, if you look at all the commentary of anybody else that gets arrested, they go over what got them arrested, the arrest affidavit. They failed to do that in Sumner County for me. And I think the reason why they intentionally did that was so that their local people would honestly believe that I was stalking these people instead of in Florida speaking on my channel using hashtags. I think anybody that found out that I was using hashtags from Florida, and that was the reason why an arrest warrant was taken out from me in Tennessee, even though there's a jurisdictional issue here, I think that is the reason. I really do. So whatever, it is what it is. I want to end on a good note. You know, Sebastian is out there. We love Sebastian. We need to stay focused on Sebastian. I pray to God that our team here, all of you guys, put a plug in the drama, guys. I know it's so easy to go over there and see what they're saying and doing, but at the end of the day, do we really care? We know it's all lies. Why would you be filling your body, mind, and soul with that gunk? I can't stand to watch it. People send this stuff to me all the time. As soon as I start hearing voices, I have to turn it off. I can't watch it. I really can't watch it. You know what I do? I download it, get a transcript, search the transcript, and go right to where I need to go in their lives to find the information I need. I can't stand to listen to that garbage. It's toxic. When you guys come here and you leave, you guys feel, you know, at least from everything I'm seeing, you guys feel upbeat and good. When you leave a trash channel, you just filled your body with gunk. And I guarantee your day falls straight downhill from that point forward. You know why? Because you put hate in your body. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? We want to say positive. Why do you think I'm reading the language of letting go? I want people to be in a positive, good state of mind. We do this to help people get through their day and have an upbeat day. We talk about some horrible stuff on here, but it doesn't mean that it needs to drag your day down. So do the right thing. Stay with the people that really are advocating for this. Support the people that are really advocating for Sebastian and his dad and the truth. And let's put a plug in the rest of it. It's toxic. And I don't want the toxicity. I've got enough problems. We all have enough problems, right? We all have our own damn problems. Than to sit around and listen to a bunch of people complaining for 7.5 hours without 1 ounce of resolution to the crap that they're complaining about. I can't stand it. It is a pet peeve of mine. If you're going to sit there and sit on your platform and argue about all these things that are wrong, yet you go there every single day complaining about all the things that are wrong and don't get off your patootie to do something about it properly, you know, legally, then you're lazy. And you know what? If you look at their shows, they are lazy. They do absolutely no research, no fact finding. All they do is open their channel up, put a whole bunch of people on panel, and all they do is complain for 7.5 hours. Who has time for that shit? Excuse my language, but who? That's what I thought. All right, guys, go rock it out with your coffee beans out. It is Manic Monday. Go be manic, but be happy. God bless you. We will be back here later, early afternoon, to have another topic of discussion. We won't have any more, unless something's breaking, we won't have any more pre-news before we get into the topic of conversation. I'm playing around whether or not I want to open up the phone lines. We'll see about it when we come live this afternoon. And I just want you guys to advocate for this young boy. You guys are all over the country, all over the world. Print out a flyer and post one up. If you haven't posted one up in a while, just print one flyer out and go post it on your own pole out in front of your own house. That would be enough today. Just moving the ball forward. Let's keep trying to find where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. The good news is Private at Night Intelligence truly believes that Sebastian is alive. That's always a positive assessment, right? We all want him to come home safely. I want to be absolutely wrong in my assessment of this case. I would love nothing more than to be wrong about this case. I'd love nothing more than to be wrong about all of our cases. Oh, vote. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for keeping me on track. All right. So before we close out, we do have a vote for. This is what the vote was for. Thank you, guys, for reminding me. So we had over 1,000 votes on this, and it says, why wouldn't CP and KP allow 17 to record them? And this is the Hands interview. And so the questions was harassment, being bullied, guilty conscience, embarrassed. And we learned that the reason why they're hiding their face, at least the opinion of our audience, is guilty conscience. Now, a few people in here, 9%, believe it was due to harassment. 6% believes it was because they're embarrassed, which I don't know why any parent would ever be embarrassed of their child disappearing. And 6% they believe is being bullied. So guilty conscience is what our audience, by almost, it's over 75%, so 77% state that they believe it's a guilty conscience. Thank you guys who all participated. I appreciate it. And we're just going to go through the start items just one time. I'm thanking all of the people on my screen as you see them for their contribution to the Bullhorn Betty channel this morning. Thank you all. You guys are all very lovely, and I appreciate the love and support. Please don't forget, we're still raising funds. We still have a lot ahead of us this year. I've got appeals that are going to be heard at the circuit court level. And I'm pretty confident that the attorney is going to be calling here for a payment. So if you guys have $1 will do, that's what it means to us. If you have an extra dollar, a few dollars laying around, please go over to the GoFundMe and please support our legal fund for this case against the Proudfoots and the nonsense that they have created by lies and lying under oath. I'd like to, and actually will be producing the affidavits for these protective orders to all of you. And I'm ready for you guys to fact find the truth, because we are going to be we're going to be going to court for the appellate court, the appeals process of this to the circuit court. And I want to make sure we have as much evidence on my side as possible. So I'll be getting those affidavits, and your only job, you know what, maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll do the reward on who is able to provide me the best information for my case, and you guys will be provided a deception deck. Maybe that's what we'll do, because I've been trying to find a way to give away a deception deck. I'm going to order one lucky person this cards. This is $79. I can't remember if it's free shipping or if I had to pay for shipping, but I know I love these cards. That's why I bought them. But I just want to let you know how expensive these cards are. They're pretty expensive. So this will be a nice little reward for that. So that's going to be the prize. So we'll figure it out, but I am going to be giving away a deception deck here on this show in the next week. Once I get those affidavits out, you guys can finally see what's truly in them word for word, and then we're going to build the case. All right, guys, take care. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, and more importantly, kind to one another. All right, guys, you guys did it. Have a happy Manic Monday. We'll see you soon. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.